Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to OddSparks for another adventure with our friends here, the Choppy, the Loamy, the Carry, the Crafty, and indeed the Stumpy Sparks. In the last episode, we managed to set up I'd like to say well thought out, but it's a well-reasoned. I had good reasons for building like this, but it can definitely do with some improvements, and that's something that we're going to be working on today. But at the end of the last episode, we picked up a bunch of quests, so let's have a quick review of what we need to do. Now, the only quest that we are currently able to hand in, based on the things we can produce, is the Sparky Pen quest for the Quartermaster. Oh, rather, that's the reward. We will need 120 sawn timber, I can already get that, and 40 wooden panels, where we've already got an abundance of both. However, everything else requires something we're not already producing. Bark harvesting requires loamy sparks themselves, which is actually probably the biggest investment, and wooden blades, which we have the workshop to make, and from what I can tell, doesn't actually require too much, just 1 sawn timber and 2 wooden panels. So we can already make those. That shouldn't be an issue. The loamy sparks we're going to have to go to some effort to make. Woodland sparks R&D would give us the ability to make the Carry Spark, the Choppy Spark, and the Loamy Spark, and all of this requires 80 Crafty Sparks, 1 of each of the Specialist Sparks, 40 Wooden Blades, and 40 Fertilizers. So that's actually a very large list of things to bring along, including the Fertilizer, which, again, not sure how we're going to be getting there. Wooden Blades over here, that's going to be a fairly easy one. Processing Organics, that seems to be the gate to us getting Fertilizer. And finally, the Village Expansion, which needs Tree Bark, which we will have access to once we get Bark Harvesting all set up and done. But whilst this is something we can probably already do, I want to focus on addressing a comment, or rather comments, but one in particular from Blood Alchemy, who suggested flipping some of the buildings so that carriers would drop off their logs earlier and then return to the source faster, which is actually a really, really solid suggestion. Right now, it wouldn't make any difference, but when things are actually on the move, and you know what, we can demonstrate that. Let me quickly drop off some of the gubbins which I've got clogging up my inventory over here. We'll drop off some of those as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select a couple of items from here so that we start the production again. So as soon as they take this out, you'll start noticing that some of the sparks will be able to drop off the logs. They move a lot faster when they're not carrying anything. So it stands to reason that we want to maximize the time that they're not carrying anything by dropping off their load earlier and then just allowing them to run back to base. And indeed, if there was a case of we had an asymmetric route, like maybe a loop, we would want them to deposit their cargo early and then have the longest part of the loop to run whilst they are empty-handed. Now, that's something that's going to require moving around a couple of things over here. But they also made another suggestion. In fact, they made 3 suggestions. But the second one was to always leave 1 tile of path between a splitter and an item filter to allow the sparks to turn around, as that would hopefully avoid traffic jams. If you recall in the last episode, I had the genius idea to use the filter to try and do exactly what I just suggested over there. And allow only those carrying nothing to walk back to pick something up, because there's really no reason for us to have our log carriers making the long trek all the way down here. Now, there is one problem with that I can foresee, and that is that ultimately, I think it's because we've got too many carriers on this path for that to work. I'm not sure that having a gap here will let me rotate it around so it's a bit easier. A gap here will really give us this sort of room to allow things to move. So how about we adjust that idea just a little bit, and I'll give them 2. We'll instead only allow them... Oh, actually, I'll give them 3. We'll give them the best chance of success, because I think this is a really solid suggestion. In and of itself, I think this may well work. Let's see if that allows things to move around. We've given quite a lot of room now for any sparks carrying wood to get back into the system before causing a traffic jam. But still, I think this is just a problem waiting to happen. We've just kind of extended the time before it happens. Well, though, looking at this, we might have been okay. I'm absolutely certain if we only had 1 path, that it would still become a traffic jam. But you know what? For the sake of science, we really should be thorough about this. Oh no, no. I can almost guarantee we'd have a traffic jam. I think this is perhaps we have lucked into exactly the length we needed, but no. No. No, I don't think it would have worked. It was a good effort, though. It was a solid effort. Right, okay, well, let's remove that then. Whomp. Can I get rid of you? Perhaps. Can I go with T? There we go. Whomp. And unfortunately, you still won't move, so I just need to call you back. There you go. And now that should unclog the system. This is fine as it is. I'm not going to worry about that one too much. The final thing that Blood Alchemy wanted me to check, and actually this was probably the one that I was the most curious about, but it was at the end of their comment, and I've addressed the comment in its entirety sequentially, okay? Look, there's nothing wrong with going through things as they appear in the list, I tell you. Right, the final thing was to check the description of the Loamy Spark, because they felt that I may have missed something. So let's have a quick read. Loamy Spark, a one-use special spark that regrows the local plants where it's thrown. To manage and respect nature, you can't just take, you also have to give. The Woodsman. I'm not really noticing anything in here that I didn't read the last time. Okay, so I occasionally have self-control. I know, shocker, but it's true. And because I only have one Loamy Spark, I'm not in a rush to use it, because I might use it ineffectively. I would prefer to have secured a supply of Loamy Sparks before I start for sciencing Loamy Sparks. But I suspect that Blood Alchemy was concerned that I had missed the part about regrowing nature. Here are my working theories. Again, I'm not going to test these out until I have more than one. But either I can deploy it, it's a one-use spark, I can deploy it and it will instantly cause the area to flourish. Kind of think like bone meal. I deploy a Loamy Spark and then bushes and berry bushes and trees all sprout out in a certain radius. Or, theory number two, it allows me to actively and very, very meticulously decide where these gigantic trees go so I can set up a logging area there. Both have their pros and cons. Both seem quite possible depending on the way the... Oh my god, it buried itself. That's amazing. But I don't know where the game is going and how likely or not we are going to need more of the basic shrubberies, or if they regrow themselves. If they regrow by themselves, then it's probably going to be theory 2 that I'm leaning in favor of. But assuming that they don't, and you can just clear out an entire forest, yeah, that would make sense that you'd want to put it back. Especially if this is biome dependent, and in different biomes you'll get different sort of things. We'll have to see, but we'll have to see once I've got more Loamy Sparks to play with. Alrighty then, I've gone ahead and I've cleaned out my inventory a little bit. I've moved some things around, as I should imagine we're going to need quite a lot of moving things around in the next little while. But now is time to implement the first point on Blood Alchemy's suggestion, and that is to try and maximize the time that our sparks spend moving around without carrying something, and generally try to improve the efficiency of our build so far. Now, one of the very simplest things that we can do is, as I've shown previously, let me move this out so they start working again. They produce 90 a minute over here. And down here, the sawmill, rather the saw bench, can produce, if I just take that out, 11.3 a minute, and that takes 2 wooden logs. So effectively, this uses 22.6 wooden logs a minute, and so I can run 4 of them without running into any issues. Now, the problem appears down here when we have a look at the required ingredients of 2 sawn timbers as an ingredient for the wooden plates, because this produces 22.5 a minute, and since I need 2 sawn timbers, then I need basically 45 per minute. So effectively I can get there but with the dedicated output from 2 of these. So no room for any overproduction, but we can saturate the production of the wooden panels. So with all of that in mind, we're going to need to dedicate 2 of these just to fueling a single sawmill, and then have the other 2 working on other things and also stockpiling bits and bobs around the place. So let's start off by, let's start by summoning all of our sparks back home. Come on home, everyone. That's right, every single little one of you. Pomp. There we go. Right, is that everyone? Where did the two from there go? I didn't see them coming out to me. They were just kind of hanging out in there, and now, oh well. Anyway, they're somewhere, I should imagine. Now then, first things first. Since we're going to go to the effort of trying to make things a little bit more efficient, let's go full ball, shall we? We will want to try and make it more reasoned how we're moving around our labor so that we don't have to use as much of it to get a certain job done. So what I'm thinking of doing is literally splitting this between each pair. This is in the way for me currently though, so how about we send our little friend over here. Pomp. Go ahead, do your thing. Also, let's get a couple of regular ones over there and 3 over there. That should do all we need. Excuse me. You should be done in a moment. Thank you. Let's get all of these done. There we are. Grab all of the bits and bobs. Thank you very much. Perfect. Okay. Right, now all of that is done. Let's move back into movement mode. Now, I'm not sure where we're going to end up setting that up, but we'll have a look in a moment. The first thing I would like to do, though, well, what I could do, and probably what I should do, is find out exactly where the sawmills are going to go as a first point of order. Now, if I have them... Well, I could put one there, but it does kind of become a problem with that. The chest there, which I don't know if I can move. That being said, I haven't tried. Can I move it? No, I can only destroy it, which is a bit of a problem. Alright, well, we'll move things around. I could have another one there, though, but I'd only be able to approach it from the left side, which isn't in and of itself a problem. So we'll try and do that. Let's rotate that around a little bit. Now let's build a new sawmill. Let's go ahead and pop you in there. Make sure that your recipe is set up correctly. Yep, everything is good here. All right. Now then, what we're going to... you might be a problem. Can I rotate you in any way? No, I can't. Well, that does actually pose a bit of an issue, since our peeps might just drop things off there. All right. We're going to have to change our mind then. I wonder if there is going to be a way to move those out of the way in the future. That would be kind of great. Not going to lie. Right, now that we've got this, we can have our paths do something like this instead. There we go. And then each of these comes up to a central point. And then that central point goes up and around. There we go. That should do us relatively well. Now, the one thing it doesn't do is afford us any opportunity to drop things off, which kind of sucks. Okay, so had to change my initial plans around a little bit, and I'm not super happy about this, as it's kind of reintroducing a very long period of time where they're going to be carrying something and heading back. But on the plus side, this does give us the opportunity to potentially stockpile quite large amounts of the actual resource, the wood, down here. And we do need that. Maybe even up to 2 or 3 of these would do. Actually, given what we've just been saying, let's pop the restorage area as far down here as we possibly can, so they can drop this off as soon as we know that they're not going to be using it for their dedicated purpose. Right, let's reintroduce the splitters down here. The way this is going to work, as you can probably already tell, pop, pop, pop. If you've set up any kind of belt balancing in Factorio, you're very familiar with this kind of thing. So we shouldn't need to go over it. But in effect, it's just going to make sure that each one is serviced by a dedicated hauler. Hopefully. Right, with that in mind, let's go ahead and pop some of these dedicated haulers down here. Now, we should add these in orders of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 to make sure each one of these get just 1. Now, I would like to see them actually use this properly. I'm fairly certain that there is no way that this could go wrong, but you never know. That sounds like famous last words kind of territory. There we go. Each one has been delivered directly, and now they're heading back for more. Marvelous. Let's pop in another 4, and I'm probably going to want another 4 as well. I was really hoping to keep these paths short, so I wouldn't need that many, but you know what? 12 is probably not terrible. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we are. Let's see you all get down there, pick up what you need, and deliver it. We are seeing some of them bringing back some logs, which they can, well, hopefully, would then drop off there. That being said, maybe this is a good place for us to introduce the filter, so that they will simply go back around if needed. I wonder if having only 12 on the route will allow us to do that, because I would love it if it would. I feel that would be a big, big help. So let's go ahead and grab a filter, and we'll pop the item filter just down here, and we'll see how this works. We'll pop that in there. So unless they are not carrying anything, they don't return here. They turn around and go back the way they came. There we go. There is a little bit of a traffic jam happening, but because there isn't ever that many units down here, it should just keep moving. And there we are. We're good to go. You're heading back. Now, therein is the problem, though, isn't it? Because we'll never actually make use of this at this point. Unless I were to turn it this way. Do we want to do that? I mean, realistically speaking, they're only going to offload on this. No, they would be offloading on that side. This is the only side where they would be carrying logs back. So unfortunately, no, this wouldn't work. I really want to make it work, though. I'm going to have to keep that in mind as we go forward, trying to find places where I can put that in. Though I do worry that if I'm trying to create a situation which needs it, did I actually need it to begin with? You know, there's that point that yes, it would be cool, but do I actually need it? Nevertheless, let's go ahead and pop this down here, which this one should be a fairly easy one since this is a really simple delivery over here. I'm not going to be producing any excess, or at least I don't imagine I will, unless this gets completely filled up, which, I mean, I guess is a possibility. But I'm fine with that just not being an issue that we address right now. So we first want to pop in the lane logistics. I'm going to have to move this back one more tile. So let's grab you and slide you down there. In fact, we can make a little bit more room as well, and we'll pop that there. Now, you might be wondering, do I really need a splitter? And we probably don't, but again, I wouldn't mind using it. And now that splitters are over here, we can pop that in. But you've got to pop this to make sure that the exit point is the only one that has got the single. This kind of looks backwards, but it should still work as we want it to. So let's pop 2 per carriers, because this does require 2. Well, actually, we could just have 1 each, I suppose, and we can see how that runs. Let's go ahead and pop down our crafty sparks over there. There you go. And 1 and 2. And we'll just have a watch of how quickly they can do this job. This is a very short path, so I'm hopeful that it will be okay. Have you filled that up? You have filled that up. What I would like to see is if this has constant production. Well, I'd need to take all of that out first to do a proper test. No, I think we are definitely going to need more than this. Let's have a watch. So from that point, yeah, we're probably going to need at least, I'm going to say, 2 more. So let's go ahead and add them in. So 1 and 2. This way, each one will have 2 dedicated haulers pulling from it. And that should, I'm hopeful, keep this running more or less all of the time. We'll see. Is there going to be any downtime? A little bit of downtime, but I can live with that little bit of downtime, I think. Right, okay, let's go ahead and pull this in here. I don't want to get caught in the trap of trying to optimize everything to be perfectly efficient. As tempting that is, it can be a massive drain. So we're instead just going to aim for good enough territory. Perfect is the enemy of progress in many, many ways. You can get way too obsessed with it. I know that's practically sacrilegious around these parts, but there we are, I've said it. Right, we are going to want a drop-off, but now that I'm wanting to build the workshop, Let's go ahead. How are we going to place this down? Also, what are we going to need to deliver the most of? Wait, ooh, we're going to need 2 of these. How long does that take to craft, I wonder? I would like to very much see how much this requires. So let's pop in 12 right there and pop in all of that. Oh, 3.8 a minute. That's not too bad. That's actually very, very good. We're easily going to have a surplus here. Right now, it's the only thing that this is going to have a surplus on. But there's a part of me that wants to give this a dedicated delivery. And the same for the sawn timber that we're going to be having at the back here. So, with that in mind, how would we go about doing this? I can once again have a delivery, a split delivery here. But if I want to have a proper drop-off, I kind of need to dedicate some to being stockpiled and the rest to being dropped in a chest that would be then earmarked for this. We can do that, sure. Let's go into T, move this down a little bit, and just see what I can think up. I'm thinking a chest about there, and then down here, instead, we would have the barrels, as we've got them. The right side would be on this side. So, the return trip, we want to drop things off as soon as we possibly can. So, let's pop these 2 down here. Now, what I don't want to do is give priority to this. So, with that in mind, I could have a splitter, I suppose. A little splitter down here that will ensure that it gets split on the return and the incoming and the outgoing journey. Yeah, maybe that'll work. Let's go ahead and pop down a splitter on this side and then a splitter on that side as well. Oh. Ah, right, no, it's not because I can't place one there. It's because I've run out of building ingredients. There we go, that'll work. Right, so coming down here, the drop-off would now be on this side, which actually works out for us. Let's go ahead and not a barrel this time, but a storage. We want to turn that around. I could even have the storage outputting in that direction, but I think having the storage outputting forward is fine as well. So this will ensure that we have some going to storage and some going for further use. And we're going to do something very similar to that on this side, I think, as well. We'll have, but we've only got a single area here, so probably something like this. Thinking about it, right side will be that side, and down on this side as well. So since I no longer want the barrels on this side, I probably want the chest on this side. The chest is going to have to point upwards, and the barrels will be on the downward side over here. So again, trying to keep in mind the direction of which side of the street, if you will, our sparks are going to be using. Let's pop down the splitter. There we go. Perfect. And then we want the chest as well. Now the chest can be over here. That will work nicely. And that means we can just pop this one down just about here. Well, actually, yeah, we're going to need 2 because I need a path of at least 2 for this to work. You can't have a single tile path, which is a bit of a shame, but I do understand that that might make things very, very messy. Right, well, given that, let's say we have 2 working there. We want probably 4 on this side. 1 here. 1 here. We'll see how that works. Let's just have a watch. Will this now deposit enough to keep this going? What I would like to see happen is before this is finished, we have brought back another 2. We're easily going to be able to maintain the sawn timber, that's not the issue. Yeah, it looks like a single stumpy spark is going to be able to deliver another 2 panels before that has finished 1 rotation. That's actually wonderful. Okay, so we're now producing the wooden blades, and presently we don't have anything else to do with the wooden blades but to store them, so let's go ahead and set that up. But for the sake of future-proofing this, I will just add this down there. I'm not going to put a splitter on it, obviously, because we don't need that yet, but let's go ahead, pop these down there. Am I going to need 2 of these? Maybe not. Am I going to add 2 of them? Yes. And we'll have 2, since that seems to be what we're doing. Everywhere, 2 per output. Okay, pretty happy with that. Very happy with that, actually. Alright, so that's going to start accumulating the wooden blades. Now, do we remember what is required for the Loamy Sparks? I should have it in my buildings down at the bottom. Let's find the Loamy Spark Shrine. 3 fertilizer and 5 ether shards. We cannot make that just yet. What can we do? I can almost certainly already hand that one in. Basic harvesting, it is going to take the Loamy Sparks. So, to get fertilizer, we're going to need to deliver 20 wooden blades. Alright, well that isn't too much of a problem. So the wooden blades, 40 wooden planks, 120 sawn timber, and 20 wooden blades. Let me get all of that together. And we're just waiting on the last sword to be delivered. Now there we go. So it's 20 swords, 40 wooden panels, and 120 sawn timber. Okay, fantastic. Time for us to head back. Though, waiting on these swords, it really became obvious to me that we are going to need to aggressively upscale our production of swords. And also, the way I'm splitting this one carrier is just going back. It has no real purpose in coming down here. So I'm thinking of maybe extending this so I can put a little item for... I know. I'm looking for a place to use it, but this is a place that I might actually want to use it. Like, for realsies, though. We'll have to see. Nevertheless, let's head back to town, because we have a few quests to hand in. Alright, here we are. Okay, let's go and first talk with our friend, the merchant. Are you not done with the task I asked you yet? You can always look in your quest log for... I got them. I had them in my inventory. Couldn't you just take them out? There you go. Right, the merchant is thinking of how to put the wooden blade that the woodsman is making to good use. They want to design a cutter where your sparks can process organic items. They need some material to finish the blueprints. Well, here you go. Excellent. Many farmers need fertilizer and we'll be able to supply them at a cost. This will save a lot of time and hopefully allow them to grow more food cheaply. A beneficial outcome for everyone involved. I agree. Especially for me. The divine researcher has told me that you need ether shards to make the sparks. I do happen to know that sometimes you get these etheric clumps that you can't do much with. Okay. But perhaps we can change that. I think we can use the cutter we've built. Has thought of a way to use the cutter to break down etheric clumps into etheric pellets. They need some materials to test out the idea. 3 etheric clumps. I should be able to get that for you. That won't be a problem. I will have that very, very soon, I should hope. Alright, let's go and have a quick chat with our friend, the quartermaster, who wants a little bit of everything. So let's go ahead and drop all of these in there. That was an awful lot of everything you wanted, my lord. Okay, you've thought of a way to keep the sparks activated without giving instructions. She calls it the spark pen. It works. Doesn't hold a lot, but still, it's nice. Have fun with it. Now, from what I understand, the spark pen is largely a cosmetic thing. It's a nice thing to have, and honestly, it being a nice thing is enough of a reason for me to want to build it. So let's go and actually put one of these together. Though first I'm going to have to see how much it costs to build. How much are you going to set me back? Just 10 sawn timber? Oh, that's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay. Let's hop, skip, and... Oh, man. Hop, skip, and jump over here. Go grab the sawn timber. And then we will swing back. Now, one of the other reasons why I changed the orientation of our buildings down here was partially to make better use of the space and be able to store our output a little better and, you know, have room to expand that, but also because we were about to hit a ramp. Now, I do believe that things can go up ramps and across ramps, and there's no real problem with that, though I don't believe you can build the splitters and stuff on ramps. Actually, let me double check that before you take it for gospel. No, you can't, unfortunately. So that is one of the reasons why I wanted to kind of change orientation and keep it on the level as well. Right, let's grab ourselves a full stack. Let's grab 2. Sure, let's grab 2. And down here, I would like to grab 2 as well. There we are. That will help very, very nicely. And for now, let's jump back down here to our Stumpy Sparks. It's been a little while since we've been over here. Hello. How are we doing today? Right, well, first and foremost, could you get rid of that tree for me? And secondly, realistically, as much as I like having you follow me around, and I do, truly, I do need the utility of the Stumpy Sparks for now. At least until I've got more carry sparks. Okay. That will clear things out a little bit. And now, what we would very much like to do is build a spark pen. Now, how does this work? It's got an input. Let's rotate it like that. We could maybe just tuck it in there, perhaps. I see absolutely no reason not to. Except that you'd be walking on the wrong side. That is a reason not to. Perhaps if I popped it here. Though it's a little bit close, I will confess. Maybe if I had... you're going to be carrying that spark for such a long way, though. Oh, well. It is what it is. Do I want 2 of these pens? Since I can carry quite a lot, I can carry 20, so sure. And just because I want to see how it works. Let's draw that out down here, pop, and then let's move this. But the moment you know that you're not able... The moment you know you're not able to drop this off, let's have you return and pop it. Oh, that's amazing! Can I just activate them from here? Let's see. If I were to pop you back in there, can I just summon you? Oh, I can throw them in there. I can pull them out of there. Oh, this is absolutely wonderful. Again, I think this is largely cosmetic. You don't really need this. In that you can just go up to the barrel and get like stacks of them out. And this is not going to hold a lot, she said. So we're probably still going to need barrels. But... I'm going to assume we can only hold a regular stack. Yeah, there we go. Let's pull everyone out of there. Okay, well, I'm happy with that, I think, for the time being. Oh, I didn't mean to throw you in there. My apologies. There we are, you can come with me. Okay, well, that's set up. I like it. But let's head on back and see if I have... Actually, why do I keep coming into this menu? I have no idea. Let's go back and see if we've got the etheric clumps that I need. I think I only have 2, but I might have 3. I might already have everything that we need. And even if I don't, I should... this is the wrong way. I should be able to go out and find a Beelephant relatively easily. But if we are lucky enough, we might already have everything we need. Let's have a peek in here. We've got 2. So Beelephant hunting time it is. We will drop off the wood. Also... Ooh, yes. Let's build some pens down here. So we want another 2 pens, I think. Do we need 2 every time? Absolutely not. Am I going to build 2 every time? Almost certainly yes. Well, that being said... Well, actually, no. We can definitely fit this in. I am going to need help from a Choppy Spark, though. There we go. So, Choppy Spark, if you could take care of that for me, and then I will get rid of all of these. There we are. And while all that's going on, we'll just expand this out. There we go. It looks like you are a bit shy of... Let's have a gander. What are you shy of? You are shy of Stumpy Sparks. So let's pop a couple in there, shall we? Do I have a few down here that I can grab? I think I may have dropped a couple off. Yeah, I did. There we are. That'll do. Perhaps I should go back and grab some more, though. Yeah, almost certainly going to need that. I'll pick that up as well. Nope. Okay, fair enough. And we'll pop in another spark pen. There we are. Lovely. Right. We do need some more sparks, though, so I guess we're going to teleport back down. I should have checked my the amount of sparks I had, which does mean that I haven't really made that area more efficient, if I'm honest. Which is a little bit of a problem. There we go. All head over here, and if you can't stand outside, then please go into my inventory. There we are. That will do nicely for now. I think that's probably enough for us to take on a Beelephant. And while we're down here, we may as well pop by the etheric distiller. Alright then, how are things going down here? Not too bad. Got a barrel full of etheric shards. They will be useful. But now we need to hunt a elephant. Unless forest spunnies can spawn the etheric clumps. I'm not sure if they can, though. So I think I'm going to try and find the elephants. I wonder if the mantis can spawn them. I can only assume they would be able to. And now I've got... Oh, I can get a bunch of choppy sparks. Yes, this is a grand plan. I must go and get a load of blades and bring them back down here and make some choppy sparks. Ooh, possibility. Oh, no, that's not going to give me what I want, sadly. Nevertheless, get over there and grab it, please. If only we could get some etheric clumps from that. Though this is a... wait, that is an etheric clump. Haha! I will accept these. Thank you. I'll grab all of those. Marvelous. Okay, well, let's go and grab some... get some more choppies. I think that would be a grand plan. Right, where are we on the map? Actually, we're uncovering the Fog of War. Something that I wanted to do for a little while. So that actually works out quite nicely. So many ancient bases around here that we're going to be able to utilize. I don't know where the best place to put it. I don't need to kill you, so I'm not going to. You can continue to be free. Elephant. I will, however, take this. We're not going to mess around with everything in there, though. That seems like a bad idea. Ancient contain... Can you? Aha! We can! Fantastic. Another use of the choppy sparks. Still don't know how to get into the ones that seem to be covered in, like, mossy stone, though. Thank you. Okay. That works out very well for us. Big happy with that. Alright, let's skedaddle back down. I gotta keep an eye out for all those shrines now, but realistically, I'm probably not gonna take too many of those out. How many have we managed to accumulate? We've actually accumulated a decent amount. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. I would like to drop off the etheric shards. Well, yeah, let's go and top up the crafty spark shrine as well, since I don't know... Oh, actually, no, they don't need them. Sorry, never mind. They just need the panels. Well, we've got all the shards we need, so let's head on back. Hello, merchant man. I have brought back all of the things. There we are. The merchant has thought of a way to use the cutter to break down an etheric clump into etheric pellets. They need some materials to test out their idea. There you go. Now nothing will go to waste. How very pleasing. Okay, that actually works out really well. I'll take that back. I did like the fact that you could see what was in there. I hadn't noticed that before, but that's actually pretty cool. Alright, so we can now cut those up in a cutter to produce 6 etheric pellets, and 1 etheric pellet produces 6 etheric shards. Very, very nice indeed. To make the fertilizer, though, we're going to need oh, just leaves. Alright, well, that's actually super easy to do. I should have probably been doing that for a while. Right, let's get back over here, and we'll immediately put this to work. Oh, I don't think we really need to tie this into anything we've already got. We can probably just pop down a separate building for the production of the fertilizer, I should imagine. Let's go ahead and see what it's going to cost us, though. The cutter, just the swords. Wow, okay. That works out well for us. Do I want to cut up the etheric pellets? I mean, I could. We kind of don't need the etheric distiller anymore. Thinking about it. Where would I rather locate this? You know what? I'd rather clear out this little bit of room over here. So, Choppy, let's get you to work, shall we? You get in there. I will put the etheric pellets down that side, but let's put the fertilizer over on this side over here. We can put it behind here, since it's not going to really need too much. Let's pop you there. There we are. And I would like to make sure that the recipe is that how much? Yeah, that's fine. We would need 2 crafty sparks. I wonder how much this is going to be able to move. We are then also going to need a well, not a barrel, but a chest. But then a barrel down here, definitely. Build the barrel. Yeah, and the chest. Oh, we lack the sawn timber. Won't be a problem. There we go. And we'll pop this one right there. All nice and easy. Take out all of the leaves. All of the leaves, my lord, we've got way too many leaves. I might actually want to pop down several of these chests. Yeah, actually 2 chests would do the trick. So let's go ahead and do that as well. I'm gonna need to get rid of that first out. So if my stumpies could take care of that job for me, you can get rid of that tree. Back to the stumpies. There we go. That should not take them very long at all. Good. Right, let's drop all of this off. Of course, they've brought me more leaves. My inventory is constantly filling up with it, but that's okay. I don't mind. Probably only need 1 down here. 1 would hope. Now, how fast does this produce? Oh, actually, you need 4. That produces 7.5 a minute, so yeah, 1 should be more than enough, but I will add in some more haulers down there, just to make sure that we're bringing back a full load each time. There we go. Now, it probably would be worthwhile just having 2 of these with a splitter, but I'm not going to go to that effort for something like that. Not right now. Right, there we are. I do like that even though we have got flat upgrades of the stumpies, they're still quite useful. I've not outgrown the use of the Stumpy Sparks at all. Right, now, since this will effectively feed one into the other, could I perhaps just have 2 of them? And no chest in between? That might be useful. That being said... No. And the reason why we won't do that... So, I want this one to... The clump dividing... Oh, wait. No, I need to build the different structure entirely for this. Can I... There we are, the etheric distiller. Let's pop that one down there. There we go. I love the look at the top there. That's fantastic. Glorious, in fact. I would like all of you to come join me. There we go. Let's pop 2 in there. And... 2 over here. But the reason why I've done it like this is we may end up wanting to gather some of these, but I'm not sure if we strictly want to stockpile them. There may be a time when we do, but it's a relatively easy resource for me to gather, so I'm not entirely sure we're going to need it. We'll see. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and set that up, and then we could, if I really wanted to, have a splitter down here so that some gets stockpiled and the rest goes straight in there. No, I won't do that, but what I will do is I will have a chest just on this side. This way, they can drop it off if they don't need it. But also, if they run out of etheric clumps to turn into pallets, then they'll start pulling from any pallets that they've stockpiled. That seems to make sense to me. And down here, we'll just have a simple drop-off location for the... we need to get the barrels again. I've built too many different things. There we go. We'll have that just dropped off over there. And that should all work. Okay. Right, let's pop in the clump. Let's pop in the pellets. Let's pop in the ether shards. And then we just need a couple of carriers. There we go. So, honestly, we're only going to need 1 down there, I'm going to say. Let's pop 2 over here. And probably 2 down here, because when this does do something, it's going to do a lot of that thing. There we are. Let's make sure that this is all going okay. Oh, and it's pouring out like slurry. That's amazing. I actually quite like this. There we are. And a bunch of shards is being deposited. Perfect. Now, let's have a look at... Yeah, we are definitely going to want a lot more. Because I would honestly prefer to have all of this in barrels than not. So, let's pop down 3 barrels. Give you a route down. There we are. And I will start depositing these over there. Let's sort my inventory so they're all in the same place. There we are. And just drop all of this off. There we go. That should do for now. Alright, do we have anything else over here that I want? Honestly, no. We've kind of done ourselves in terms of cleaning up my inventory. I'm very happy with that. Let's keep this around, though. So a place to drop off odds and sods is always going to be useful. Let's drop that in there. Okay. Right, how much fertilizer? We've got a lot of fertilizer now. That's amazing. Well, let's have a quick gander at my quests. We've got the bark harvesting. Still need to deliver loamy sparks. That's what the fertilizer will probably be most useful for. Of course, we've got woodland R&D. That just needs one of each. A carry spark, a choppy spark, a loamy spark, and then 80 crafty sparks. So basically, an awful lot of stumpy sparks is what you're really asking for there. A crazy amount of stumpy sparks. Actually, let me... Again, I don't know why I keep going into that inventory. Let me, once again, just check what the loamy sparks require. It is just shards and fertilizer. And that produces 5 loamy sparks, too. Huh. That one's not going to be nearly as difficult for us to do. Alright. Well, let me grab a couple of odds and sods. Let's always make sure that we've got some decent stockpile going on. I guess. Sure, let's grab a bunch of these then. I'll take an entire barrel's worth and then fill up the rest with fertilizer. Here we go. Actually, the spark pens take quite a lot, so I'm going to grab the remainder as sawn timber. Now, where was our loamy shrine? Carry shrine, loamy shrine. Just over there by the choppy shrine, as it happens. Well, I mean, I really would like to do that, so maybe let's only take enough to fill a single chest with. That seems reasonable. Same with the fertilizer, actually, thinking about it. Have a single chest, crates with. There we are. And let's go and fill up with basic sparks. Also, let's grab all of the swords that we've made, which isn't much. We really do need to scale that up. That'll definitely be something for the next episode, I think. But I would like to automate the production of all of our sparks, at least at the spark shrines. I know there are other ways for us to automate them, but let's grab everyone there. Thank you. Marvelous. That's a solid bit of work there, but we're even going to grab a couple out of here too. There we are, we're going to grab all of those. Okay, off to the choppy shrine first, which is this way. I know which way I'm going. Okay, so the choppy shrine is going to be a bit of a problem in and of itself just to get set up next to it, unfortunately. That being said, I probably only need to chop down a fairly small amount of trees in order to get in there. So thankfully we have a choppy with us, but I will go ahead and I will just set up a couple of you to be made right now. We're going to need some crafty sparks in here. There we go. You two can get to work whilst our single choppy starts clearing the way. Having a couple of choppies really, really does make this so much easier. Oh my lord. How did I ever survive without them? We're going to need to clear a decent amount of space if I want to put down a pen, and why wouldn't I want to? Again, it is not efficiency at work here. It is the rule of cool, and it is cool for me to just be able to show up, play a tune on my staff flute, and suddenly an army of... I mean, a completely peaceful group of sword-shaped peaceful people will arrange themselves like the Avengers assembling. It's going to be grand. And not at all frightening for any rival nation. I mean, any happy neighbors who might be nearby, curiously watching as we array a very large population of weapon shit. You know, the merchant is right. They really do need to write quite a lot of letters. This is not going to look good in any version. Right, let's go ahead and place down a couple of pens. One can go here. I'm actually going to need to pick all of this stuff up, though, which is kind of annoying. Alright, there we are. Before building, that is. I mean, of course, it's good to clear up after yourself. But the fact that we can't place things down because of the stuff on the ground is a little bit irritating. Let's grab all of the things, please. Over there. No, no, no. Don't try and chop the trees. That's for the choppies. And only the choppies. There we are. Thank you very much. Right now, we can move this. May as well pop it up there. And can we build another right here? Yes, we can. And then we can draw a path. And then finally we'll get a barrel right at the end. Marvellous, perfect, wonderful. And let's pop a couple of you down. There we go. We've now got choppy pens. Hooray! And on that note, come and join us. Right, how many choppies have we got? We've got 6 choppies and... well, we'll top that back up. There we are. Nice and easily done. In fact, we want all of them. Come on over. Now we've got 10 choppies. Ah, this feels marvellous. Okay, now we need to find the Lomi Shrine, which I think is actually quite close by. Lomi Shrine is there, and then we've got the Carry Shrine up a little bit further. I wonder if we could get all of them automated in this app. That would be wonderful. Right, we just need etheric shards and fertilizer over here, and we've practically already cleaned this place out. Nevertheless, go forth, choppies, and do your finest work. Here we go. Everything is in place. I really like those pens, if you couldn't already tell. And there we are, and now all we need are a couple of carries to take care of this. There we go. Please make this happen. Now, how fast can you produce the Lomi Sparks? Can you produce 5 at a time? That's the impressive part. It does take a lot of resources, though, which is why I've popped down 2 on each route. But I might actually need to put... well, they're not going to be producing all the time, so... you know what? That's good enough for now. Let's find out what is going to be involved in getting the Carry Sparks also automated, because that wasn't really what I came out here for, so I'm certainly not going to have all of the materials. But I think it's crafty sparks that are needed for the Carry Shrine. Let's have a look. Crafty sparks and sawn timber. That won't be too difficult for us to automate. In fact, we'll be able to put down the actual groundwork for that relatively easily. It is a shame that you're pointing in this direction, because I'm going to have to cut down quite a lot of trees in order to get there. Wait a second, what am I saying? That's a good thing. Right, okay, well, choppies, get to work. There you go. And you know what? Carries, you can also help out. Ah, dapplings. Doing what dapplings do. And there we go. Everything is now in place for when we eventually come back. To there. How much does this take? It only takes, well, it takes 1 and 4, which is a little bit of a pain. Do I have any spare carries? Yes, I do. Marvellous. Okay, so we don't even need to bring extra carries over. That is actually going to be really, really nice. We are going to need to bring everything else, mind you, but still, I'm quite happy with that as a whole. There we are. And we will pop the remainder of the crafties that we've got in there, and the remainder of the timber we've got in there, and this should start auto-producing. Okay, I'm going to go and grab some more materials and restock both the choppy and let's give them a wide berth. Run, my choppies. We are not ready to test out your military prowess just yet. But I'm going to go and grab all of the gubbins to refill all 3 of our shrines right now. And I will bring it back when we have the requisite number of Lomi Sparks. Oh wow, they really didn't have enough to make all of the choppy sparks down here, sadly, but oh well. Let's drop off some more stumpy sparks and then get a couple of extra swords. That's not going to get us many more choppy sparks, but that's fine. We need to keep the 20 wooden blades, because that is what we're going to need for the bark. And I believe our Lomi sparks are ready to go. I'm actually starting to think that the trip down here is unnecessary. I could just have exceptionally long paths. That the height of laziness it really is to have my sparks having to travel all that way, when we could, if I just go down here, set up the ability to make the sparks ourselves, and that's probably what I need to do. Either that, or maybe find a better spot. There may be a better place with a lot of the bases around that we can make use of, because right now we are kind of wanting for them. But I do believe this is all the Lomi sparks that we're going to need. Let's have a look. We do, in fact, have the 20 Lomi sparks that we need. That's amazing. Okay, so we've got the swords, the Lomi sparks. Let me drop off some more fertilizer, because it looks like we've gone through all of that. Wow, they really do go through the fertilizer. There you go. A little bit of a top-up. I love the sound they make. That is just amazing. At this point, though, I guess I can actually afford to test. You know what? Sure. Let's find out. How do I use you? There we go. And yeah, it's just vegetation. Okay, so it isn't. It doesn't produce big trees. That being said, have I ever seen a big tree just out in the field like this? It might need me to do it in a certain type of environment. I've only got enough to complete the quest, but we can definitely check that out a little bit more in the future. But we can now return. Let me just double check there aren't 2 quests that I can hand in. That's all I've got there. I mean, if I wanted to grab 80 crafty sparks and 40 wooden blades and 40 fertilizer, I could also hand this one in. But that is a lot of work. That's an awful lot of work. I think that one's something that we might want to allow our factory to continue producing, especially with the wooden blades. I definitely need to upscale our production of that, and I think that is going to be a good little good project for the next episode. If you can't already tell, we are definitely running up close against the time to wrap up this episode, so I'm afraid that's probably going to be the last thing we do, is hand in this quest to get the bark. That being said, once we've got that, we can actually start producing it ready for our upgrades. Ooh. Mushrooms. I wonder if we can harvest those. We cannot. Okay, fair enough. Alright, let's get through here. We've got everything being produced. I mean, you know, 15 in the time that we've gotten. Lots of crafty sparks over there, actually, which is quite nice to see. But yeah, we definitely need to drastically upscale our production, it feels like. That being said, though, we have got everything we need, so let's head on back to town and hand this in to the woodsman. Can I go back there? Will you allow me to use the waypoint? There we go. Just needed a little bit of convincing, that was all. Right then, I am ready for your next invention. There you go. Let's have a chat. The woodsman wants to figure out a way for the sparks to extract tree bark from wood. As do I, if I can avoid coughing. I guess we were barking up the right tree after... Oh, really? Woodsman, why? Why would you have to do that? That was cruel. I didn't deserve it. Don't forget to drink some water, just like plants. You need... Well, actually, yeah, considering how scratchy my throat is, maybe I should. Right, in terms of our quests, the village expansion is... Actually, we probably already got the wooden panels, so it's literally just the tree bark. Maybe the stones as well, I can't quite be certain about that one. The R&D is going to take a bit more time to get all of the crafty sparks. The crafty sparks in particular are going to be the restriction there. But let's go ahead and have a quick check at the new recipe. Alright, it'll produce every 2 seconds, or maybe, yeah, I'd say that was every 2 seconds it'll produce a tree bark. That will be very, very easy for us to do. Have we got enough crafty sparks? We do. Let's grab a couple of you. Thank you very much. Come this way. Look at them with their little arms. Flaunting it they are. Right, let's get a couple of you set up. 1, 2. Where are all my choppies? Let's pop the choppies down there as well. There we are. Right. Yeah, we're going to be producing 90 a minute, just as we were with the regular logs. And I guess the last thing we can do is simply stockpile it. Since we're going to need a decent amount of it, may as well just go ahead and... Oh, I don't have the logs. Let me just grab those. There we are. Grab all of them, may as well. Let's go ahead and build this down here. And then have... Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and use our dedicated carry sparks. Now that we are actually starting to gather them. There we go. Look at them go. With their 4 little legs and their massive carrying capacity of 2 things. Look, it's an upgrade, okay? I'll take what I can get. But that is going to be it for this episode. I really do hope you have enjoyed. We have for science what the Loamy Sparks do. I was actually starting to really lean towards them making the bigger trees, and maybe that is something that they can do as long as it's in the right biome, but we'll have to have a look at that. But we have expanded out our production. We are now producing fertilizer. We are producing wooden blades. We are also chopping up etheric clumps into pallets, into shards. We have set up automation for every type of spark that we have access to currently, and we've also got them staying in cute little pens, though obviously we do still need to ramp up the production of the basic sparks, the stumpy sparks, in order to get that going. I do think we're going to need to look around a little bit and maybe choose an area, which is why I was kind of favoring the idea that the Loamy Sparks might create trees, so that I could just set that up in an area around the larger fields of ancient bases. Still, something for us to have a look at. Maybe in the next episode, that is what we'll focus on, actually setting up proper automation of all of the sparks in a nice area where I can reduce the running around between each one. We just go to the spark area and we collect whatever sparks we particularly need. But that is going to be it from me. I hope you have enjoyed, and I hope you will join us for the next. But until next time, from myself and the choppy and the carry sparks, and also the stumpy sparks in the background there. Not the crafty sparks, though. They're too busy. But do take care.